and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 140 for Tuesday, the 18th of October 2022. I'm your host, Mark Webb, Gamertag, Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby, 360G, and joining me on this very fine evening is...
Here comes the pain. It's Nick Fights.
And Sensei Switch.
Hey, how we doing?
Yeah, not bad.
Good. Our show from last week, many people did enjoy, where we did our retrospective of the OG Xbox.
It's fun to do.
Yeah. So for those of you who missed out who aren't Patreons, you need to sign up because next week we're going to be doing all about the Xbox 360. Our favourite memories, little tidbits about the system, favourite games, probably the best console generation of all time. I'm really looking forward to next week. Just need to do a little bit of homework. But last week's was about the OG Xbox, and that was really good, man, because I'd forgotten about quite a few games and stuff. So, yeah, I really enjoyed that. And non-gaming wise, me and Damo have started up another podcast called Spookspiracies. So this show is all about conspiracies and the paranormal. So our first episode was all about the moon landing hoax. Yes, it was a hoax. And our next episode is going to be, well, we haven't decided yet, but it's going to be something spooky because we like all the paranormal stuff. So
is that going on this feed or is that on a separate thing altogether?
So it's completely separate, but I've put it on the Patreon feed and it's on YouTube. Because we record that on Zoom, so we've got video on that of our beautiful faces.
Wait, let me find a YouTube. What's it called on YouTube?
Spookspiracies.
Spook?
Yeah, spook.
That's not going to work.
Spookspiracies, all one word. Yeah, all good, man.
Spooky Rice, that's not it. Mate, you can find an easier name to type.
It's well easy. Spookspiracies. That's piece of piss. Well easy. Anyway, that's non-gaming related. Anyway, so we're back to our regular programming this week, where we talk about all the great games we've been playing, all the latest news, and some questions. So it's all good. So do you want me to start, or do any of you guys fancy starting this week?
I was going to say you might as well start because you probably played the most.
All right, well, I'm going to start off.
Still can't find the podcast thing.
Spook, S-P-O-O-K, Spiracies, S-P-I-R-A-C-I-E-S. You're probably spelling Spiracies wrong.
Yeah, yes, because it's not a real word you said.
Well, you just got to think of conspiracy, right? Spiracies.
I've got it. There we go.
Yeah?
Subscribes. Excellent.
Good lad. Yeah, so, where was I? Okay, so I'm going to talk about two games in one go here, just because they're both Call of Duty. So, Call of Duty Vanguard, been playing that quite a bit this week with my next door neighbour Gavin. So if you're listening, hello mate. We had a really good session last night, in fact. Just making the most of just trying to play it as much as possible at the moment, because obviously when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 comes out in 2 weeks' time, Vanguard's probably going to get deleted and never played again. So just trying to make the most of it at the moment. And the weird thing about it is, though, is they released a new map for it just 2 weeks ago, which just seems pointless. Because obviously the new game's coming out and a lot of the player base are going to leave for Modern Warfare 2 anyway. So it's just, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you release it earlier? I don't know.
Be surprised how long these multiplayer CODs keep going, mate. Like 2 or 3 years up to it. It'll be Christmas. I wouldn't surprise me it'll take until Christmas for the majority to switch over to the new one. At least. Well,
I know the multiplayers do go on for a good few years after the after the next CODs have come out anyway. You always get the hardcore lot. Because I want to keep, they want to keep it popular-ish for selling all the skins and stuff, right? Because, excuse me, I'm pretty tired today. Because the thing is, none of the stuff you've bought in Vanguard or anything carries over into Modern Warfare 2 or the new Warzone 2.0. So it's all going to be brand new for that, you see.
And did you also hear that to play that on, unless they've backpedaled, to play Call of Duty online this time, you've got to have a phone number linked to your account?
Only on PC.
It's only on PC.
Yes, it's only for PC play because obviously it's to stop people from like cheating and then getting banned and then just buying another copy of the game and then going back on. So yeah,
That makes sense. So obviously, reading it from someone on Facebook, they were full of crap. So
yes, always listen to me. I'm always right.
Maybe. I mean, sometimes you're full of crap, but
Never.
Never.
Yeah, so yeah, it's only for PC, which I'm not really bothered about because my phone's linked to my Activision account anyway. So
you just got. I mean, what are you worried about? It's not. You're not going to do the things where they'd need your phone number, and unless they start sending like spam texts to you, which they say they won't, then does it really matter?
it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, I get spam calls all the time, and the good thing about Android is you have like it comes up saying
it says spam when
or
you're
whatever,
doing it,
then you just block it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the more things that they can do to stop people cheating is, I'm really happy with. So
yeah, especially cheating and online bullying and stuff like that. People complain about they're not doing anything, and when they do something like this to try and stop it, then the other lot complain as well. So
yeah, that's it. I mean, because the thing is with crossplay in particular as well. A lot of these games do get a lot of cheaters, and it puts the PC gamers in a bad light anyway. Just because obviously it's easier to hack on a PC, so I want to keep crossplay as harmonious as possible because I love being able to game on my PC with my console mates. So the more the merrier on that, to be honest. And the other game I played today was Warzone with Colin and Peebs today, and I was on my PC and they were both on their Xboxes and it worked great. And I want to keep that crossplay going, so all good.
Is that getting upgraded when Modern Warfare 2 comes out, or is it a bit later?
So it's a month after launch. Warzone 2.0 comes out, and that's completely separate to Warzone 1. So again, none of your skins you've purchased carry over, nothing carries over at all. It's a brand new separate thing. So again, I don't know how it's going to work because Warzone 1 is still going to be going as well. So it's going to split the player base a little bit, which I think's a bit silly. So we'll see how that goes, to be honest.
I think that's probably to keep the people happy that have made purchases in the original, so they don't lose access to what they've paid for.
Yeah, because I think some people have probably spent a lot of money on skins and bits and bobs. Because you got your season passes, you got your gun skins and your character skins and outfits and stuff that people have purchased. So yeah, it makes sense to keep it going and from that point of view. But from a negative standpoint, as I say, it's just splitting the player base up a little bit, which is a little bit annoying. So, and I'm not going to have Warzone 1 and Warzone 2 installed on my computer because think how much hard drive space that's going to take up. Crazy, absolutely crazy. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Modern Warfare 2. It's the most excited I've been for a Call of Duty release in a long time. I really enjoyed the beta. I thought it played well. The maps are really good. And it does seem like a lot of people in our community are picking it up on launch as well. So I'm hoping for some really good gamer night sessions on that. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. And so I'm just getting into the swing of things, just playing Vanguard as much as I can, just to get that COD movement in my brain as much as possible. Yeah, that's 2 games knocked off my list straight away. Nick, you're next.
Right, I mean, you'll probably jump in because I think you've played this as well, because I think it was out this week or last week as Overwatch 2.
Yes, I actually played some of that today, funnily enough.
Yeah. Well, I played it last week with my mate. He was on PC and I was on Xbox Series X, whatever, that version. It was a
Yeah,
bit of a pain. It took me about half an hour to actually get to the point where I could play because, like I said, I had to create an account and it wouldn't let me not create an
yeah,
account for some
yeah.
reason. And then I had to go on my laptop and link my Xbox account to it because it wouldn't let me do it on the console. It kept saying scan a QR code, but it wouldn't scan or for
Right.
whatever reason. And then I did have to put my phone number in as well. So I'm like, all right, whatever. But that was on Xbox, so I don't know if there is a way you could do it without. It wouldn't let me do it, but
Right.
anyway,
I mean,
yeah.
so when I launched it last week, that's when the servers were fucked, but it gave me the option to link my Xbox account to my Activision, uh, my Battle.net account, sorry, on my PC. Because obviously I played Overwatch 1 on my Xbox, I wanted all my Overwatch 1 stuff to carry over. So then it put me in a queue to merge my accounts. And so I just turned off the game and let it do it, in the background because I was like 800,000th in the queue. And then I hadn't actually played it. So I saw Colin was on it today with his son. So I wanted to give it a proper go. And it was actually pretty good, even though there is no difference between that and the original Overwatch at all. It has all the same characters. All the maps that I've played are exactly the same from the first game. I can't actually see any difference apart from this game's now gone free to play and they're selling more skins and shit. So yeah, I don't know the thought process of doing this.
Money.
So, well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I played Overwatch 1 a few years ago because it had like a free weekend sort of thing. And I
Yeah.
played it for a few hours and I was getting exactly the same vibes as I did then. And it was weird because obviously it's not just like COD. You've got all objectives, and there's one where you have to like move like a little cargo train or something, like a mine cart from one side of the map to the other to win. And
Yeah.
I was trying that, but the problem is we were playing, trying to work out what we were doing with so I think it was 4 on 4. I want to say 4 on 4.
Yeah.
May have been more, but I'm not sure because that's how good we were at it. So we were just running off in the wrong direction, trying to shoot whatever, getting lost. And then when we finally found the people, on the opposite team, they were all like huddled together, working to actually do the objective. So we're like, oh yeah, so you actually have to do the objective. You can't just run around like an idiot. But plus, it was just really weird. It took ages to actually find any games. It was like, and some of the game modes were had a little padlock on them and wouldn't let us select them. It was weird
Right.
because it said only the party leader is allowed to select this mode. I was like, but I am the party leader.
Right.
So I made him the party leader, and then he couldn't select any mode, so we had to completely restart the game. And like I said, we got quite a few times we got kicked out of the matches, but then it did say in the corner, like whilst we were playing, like there was like a 6 hours like maintenance thing going on. So that said
Right.
there could be server issues and kicks and stuff. So at least they put that in the corner, so I can't get too angry with it because they put it on the home screen, which is I don't know if that's better than just shutting the servers off for like a day rather than because you won't get kicked, but you won't get anything, will you? But I don't know if that's better. But eventually we got bored, and then we just did like a solo 1v1 private match, and then we really had a laugh there. I mean, I was getting so much of like Quake 3 arena vibes, just running around like because we had the character we picked character in, but she had like a rocket launcher and things like that. So we just running around shooting each other with rocket launchers and things like that, and we were doing that for about half an hour, 45 minutes. I mean, I won, obviously, but then I had to leave and go to work. So he said basically that means I've lost because I've forfeited the game, even though I was like 10 kills up on him. So I thought, all right, I'll let him have that. But it's more Overwatch, and if people like Overwatch, I suppose they'll be happy with this. And if they didn't like Overwatch, they're not going to really be swayed by
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it's a hero-based team shooter, isn't it? Because you've got your damage, your tank, and your healers. So you need to manage them well within your team to be effective. And I think that's what people like about the game, because everyone has a role to play. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I like playing it every now and again, like with Colin and that, because obviously it's people you know, yeah, and you can do the tactics and stuff. But if you're jumping in on your own, I think it might be a bit shit, to be honest.
Yeah, that was Overwatch 1. I found that a bit shit because I was playing on my own.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I think you really kind of need to be playing that with people, don't you? Like,
Of course, yeah.
Chat as well.
Yeah, 100%.
You generally always have more fun with people anyway. You're less likely to get wound up and annoyed.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you can just play. What I'm saying is, though, Switch, you can just play COD and Battlefield on your own and be a Billy No Mates. You just put some music on, just run around shooting things and enjoy. Whereas with Overwatch and a lot, like Dead by Daylight, games like that, you actually have to work together, or it kind of ruins it for everybody. Because we turned the in-game chat on, which we thought, oh well, let's see what's going on, and they were really slagging us off because we weren't doing as they were telling us. I was like, yeah, because we had you muted, you dickheads. Why would I listen to you? But
yeah.
yeah.
But the problem is these days it's harder to get people you know on at the same time. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think we're going to get another game in at some point, but I'll play it again with my mate, but I'd have no intention of playing it on my own. But it's okay. The guns are okay. It's a bit more looser than Call of Duty, and it's a bit more like, I don't have to write the word, because I always think like Call of Duty, like gun controls. We always say things like tight, don't we, and just feel good. Whereas this one feels a lot looser and a bit more all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, it's far more arcadey, isn't it? To a degree.
Yeah.
An FPS MOBA per se.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reception to the game's done pretty well, which we thought it would, because obviously it's free to play, so you're going to get a lot of people in. I think they said the other day that they've had like 25 million people play it so far.
That's impressive.
Wonder I kept getting kicked out. Yeah, you're not interested in it, Switch, or not?
No, I'm just not really an FPS kind of guy anymore.
So you don't normally play
atmospheric single player kind of thing. It's just the fact of that. I only really have fun when I'm playing with other people, and generally I'm not online when other people are online. So
you're not going to pick up Modern Warfare then?
No. I haven't picked up a Call of Duty since Black Ops 3, I think was the last one I got.
Wow. I'm looking forward to the campaign on that, and what I really like what they've done about it. I'm normally not a fan of pre-order bonuses, but I am liking this, that if you pre-order it, you get access just to the campaign a week early, so you can get the campaign banged out without thinking about
that.
Yeah, because usually a lot of people don't play the campaign because they're like, oh, I just want to play the multiplayer to get my ranks up and stuff, so they don't play the single player. But if there's no multiplayer available, then you're going to play the single player, right?
I mean, most of the people I speak to about Call of Duty, they talk about the things they always remember. It's usually single player campaign stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that's not the majority, though. If you look at their stats.
I mean, they probably thought if we put the campaign out early, everyone can go through, like you said, get that played and done, and when the multiplayer launches, everyone can sort of like jump onto that. But that can create issues with the servers. I mean, just look at how that ended up affecting Grand Theft Auto 5 back in the day.
Yeah, and Red Dead Online as well.
They did online like a month or two later, wasn't it? And it was absolutely horrendous on like launch. Talk about a bottleneck.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. So next podcast we do, well, it won't be next week, so we're doing next 361, but the next one we do will be talking about Modern Warfare 2. How exciting! Awesome.
You will, we won't.
Yeah, I'll be blabbing on about it for ages, and then you'll end up buying it anyway because I'm pimp it out so much.
I'll buy it a year late.
Fair enough.
Switch,
Yeah,
Luke,
go
what
on,
have you
Darren.
been playing then?
Not a great deal, really. Cyberpunk probably been the main thing I've been putting time into again this week.
Back onto
Slowly
Cyberpunk.
eking it out. Yeah, it's just like clearing up all those like NCPD scanner things and the gigs from the different fixes, etc.
Right.
I popped a few more achievements for doing all of the sort of jobs in certain areas, etc. Sort of up to level 48 because it does take a long time to sort of level up per
Okay.
se. But I don't literally just go and do like just go gig, like scanner thing, just constantly one after the other. I do generally in a game like that. The city itself is a character, so I
Yeah.
go around. I go clothes shopping, look for like new Ripper Doc things that I could have like implanted. Collect some clothing that I can add to my wardrobe and stuff. Go home, shower, sleep. Sort of bit of role play, as it were,
Yeah.
to a degree, because it's just a lovely world to travel around in anyway.
Yeah.
And
It
then
is.
switch over to different radio stations that I don't normally listen to and find new songs on there that I like.
Interesting.
Really looking forward to the expansion when it comes out next year.
Oh, still happening, is it?
Yeah, well, as far as we know, the big question I want answered is will we be able to actually pass the level cap that you currently have? Because I believe 50 is the level cap in the game.
Right. They want to know if they up it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'd just be handy, even if it's just an extra 2 levels or 5 levels or something. You don't want to go too crazy because they obviously don't want everyone to max out all of their different like statistics. Because while
Right.
you're playing the game, you do have to plan on whether you're going to be putting your money into like tech or reflexes or body, cool, and all that sort of kind of stuff. And you can't max all of them out, so you generally end up choosing a certain play style. And although you can reset your perks, you can't actually respec the points you put into your main attributes.
Right.
Which is
Yeah.
understandable because the crafting one, once you get that to 20 and you've made all your best shit, you're not really going to use that again. So I suppose if they enabled you to reset it, you just max that out, create all the things you want, upgrade everything to the max, and then just reset it and not put anything into those because you wouldn't
Yeah.
need to.
Yeah. I still find it amazing how the game has had such a massive resurgence since the anime. It's crazy. You
Mm.
know, games don't normally make that much of a comeback, to be honest, especially single player games. You know,
Well, that, and I think it helped the fact that when by the time the Edge Runners series had come out, the game was in almost like a finished state.
yeah,
Like if you were a new player jumping in, it's like it's optimized now for the next gen systems, whereas it wasn't on launch per se.
yeah,
The quests are less glitchy. I still run into occasional glitches here and there. Like the one I've had a fair bit is where I go to Judy's apartment and she's just not there, and it doesn't allow me to access my stash in her apartment or sleep in the
uh,
bed,
well, that's
which is
annoying.
kind of annoying. So I just end up usually just reloading a previous save and going off for a while and going back there hours later.
Right, that's odd. That's really odd.
Is a strange one. I'm hoping that gets sorted out in the next update because I've heard a few people say that that is a weird glitch that
I
does
heard one
occur.
of the updates that they made is that the girls send you nudes in text messages now.
No, they don't send you nudes, but they do text you and stuff, like a bit more.
Yeah,
I've
I
had
don't know.
like text conversations with like relatives and stuff, asking me questions
Oh, nice.
and stuff. It's good, but I wish there were more ways of actually sort of like proper interacting with them. Because once you've obviously completed their say relationship arcs,
Yeah,
they just repeat dialogue. Like
yeah.
when you ring them up, you just ask them the same questions over and over. Like there's no new things like, oh, how you doing? What are you doing? And it's just all sort of quest related stuff. There
Yeah.
was actually a mod that someone actually brought out on the PC where you can actually go to bars and you can invite the characters to the bars.
Oh, that's cool.
to hang out. Which it's things like that I think would make a better sort of interactive feeling world, because it makes everything seem less stiff. I mean,
Yes.
even in GTA 4, was it, you could go out like with Roman, your cousin,
Yeah, he bloody
play
texting you all
pool
the
and do all
time.
these different. Yeah.
Oh, he was so annoying, wasn't he?
Yeah, I know. Like the most needy friend in the world.
Hey, cousin, want to go bowling? No, I'm busy right now. Oh.
But yeah, it does add a bit of character and everything, I think, to the world. And one of the
Yeah.
best things about it is the character interactions in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, I've been thinking about starting it again myself. I've got so much games in the backlog. I'm like, nah, not
Well,
happening.
you could just wait until the expansion comes out.
Yeah, it's
I
probably the
mean, it's
best
going to be
plan.
interesting when that expansion comes out, because as far as I know, with the 1.6 update, that was the last update they did for last gen. So any updates going forward will literally strictly be for the series consoles, the
Yeah,
PS5
yeah,
and PC only.
yeah.
They're apparently giving like certain groups like complete overhauls, etc.
Okay.
I mean, I'd quite like random things to start happening in the world, because you do go back to some of the places where you did the early like the scanner crimes, and there are like gangs fighting it out here and there, but there's nothing really around for you to do or get involved in after you've done the missions in those areas,
Yeah,
unless you just start attacking random gang members,
yeah,
which just seems slightly out of character if you're playing the game properly.
yeah. Mm. Okay. Nice. Well, I'm glad
Hmm.
you're enjoying it, mate. Anyway.
Yes, I think it's about 130 or 140 hours into it now.
Wow. That's some
Have you
going,
beat the
man.
main
I'm
story,
taking
or
my
are you
time.
just going through
No, I've
everything?
been holding back. I've had like the last mission up for ages, but I've still got some of the prerequisite missions to do. So I've got like chipping in to do, which I believe leads to you getting Johnny's car.
Oh, yeah. Oh, bloody hell, man. Yeah, it's a wicked car.
I like the way there's actually like random quests in the world as well. I stumbled across one the other day that actually netted me a new motorbike.
Oh, nice.
Just
That's
a
cool.
random body I once found, and it came up with a quest, even though there wasn't actually a quest marker or anything in the location.
Ah, that's cool.
And one of the other things I will say I wish was in the game that isn't, you can't ride the trains.
Oh, yeah.
I think that'd be awesome, just to jump on a train and just sit on it, like looking out the window,
That,
watching it
that,
all
that
go
would be
by.
cool. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that'd
But
be
they just
awesome.
act as literal fast travel points.
Yeah.
So it's not even fast travel points along the route of the track, is it? You could literally be like, oh, I'll jump on the train here and I'll spawn in the Badlands,
Yeah.
where there isn't a single train station. But yeah,
Magic,
strangely
mate.
enough, this is how sad I am. I've never used the fast travel.
So weird.
I always use vehicles to just drive there.
You want the ultimate immersion, don't you?
The old test drive way.
Yeah. Cool, man. All right. Well, I'm going to talk about a very similar game that I was playing today for a little bit. Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh,
Ooh, which version?
PC version, of course.
not 360. Oh,
Fucking hell.
Yeah, but did
And
the PC get the new PS5 thingy update, or did that always have
I
that?
have no idea. It looks like it's really
oh, the
weird
first
because
person stuff.
it's got all that, but like, given how old the game is, it still looks amazing. It really
Yeah,
does. It's
that
so
came out on the
weird.
360 and PS3.
I know.
I remember
It-
when it came out, we all said as well, didn't we? Like, if someone had said to us that this was on the PS4 or the Xbox One at the time, we'd have been like, yeah, that's fair.
yeah,
It came out
it's
like September, didn't it? About 2 months before the PS4 and that.
Yeah, fucking hell. But yeah, it's just I didn't play it for too long. I just fancied roaming around the city for some strange reason. Just when you get that itch every now and
Yeah,
again, and I was just like, yeah. So because I hadn't actually played it since I've upgraded my PC, so everything maxed out completely, which was amazing, running at 120 odd FPS, smooth as butter. And I was a little bit of the single. I mean, I completed the single player on PC anyway, but just cruising around. Then I thought I'll check out the online, and so I loaded up the online and just was driving around randomly, doing a bit of role play, like stopping at traffic lights and stuff, and just admiring just how gorgeous the city is, how detailed it is, and just the awesome radio stations as well. The music is just so damn good in that game. It really is.
I used to just drive down the beach and just sit on the beach watching the sunrise in the mornings and stuff. And you'd see obviously joggers running across the sand.
Yeah.
And you'd notice even the joggers leave footprints in the sand as they're running along. And it's just little touches like that that just add. There's a reason why that game has been so massively popular ever since it came out.
It's so detailed. It's pretty amazing actually. If you really look at things, like just how dense the actual, like the main city is so dense, like all the little alleyways and behind the shops and things like that. It's so real. Like it was even like I was getting chased by the cops because I decided to cause a bit of carnage, and I hid in this like back alley thing with some car parking spaces, just randomly, and it had like like the little signs there saying no parking and that sort of stuff. And it was crisp, absolutely crisp. You know what I mean? Like in a lot of games, it'd just be like a blurry sign and you couldn't even read it. Whereas on this, it was like perfectly crisp and you could read every little word. I was like, wow, just they put so much effort into it. It's so amazing, man. It really, really is.
Yeah, the amount of detail they've actually put into those games, and so many people don't notice it. It's good but bad at the same time. Could spend like weeks of their time doing stuff, and people never even see it.
Oh no,
That reminds me. What was it? I think that was in GTA 3, and then there's a few others where if you get to a certain point, they'd put like a message, like if you got up above a bridge and behind a bit, they put messages like "You're not supposed to be here" and things like that. I remember that one. That was pretty good.
There's so many older games as well that have things in them that you're not aware of. Like I remember when Saints Row came out, the new one that came out this year that got absolutely lambasted.
Yeah.
On release, I ended up watching a couple of videos. Like one was about 25 minutes long, and the other one was 20 minutes long, and it was things you could do in Saints Row 2 but can't in the new Saints Row.
Wow.
And like having it almost an hour long.
That's insane.
And there were like weird things in that. I remember in Saints Row 2, you could end up like leaving your character stood there, and you'd go off to make a cup of coffee. You'd come back, your character has wandered over to some other NPCs and started chatting to them, is sitting there smoking a cigarette chatting.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome, isn't it? Yeah.
I still laugh every time I think about Saints Row, the first one. The demo that came out on 360, and it's still, I don't think you probably still get it now, but because where normally in a demo they'd put like an invisible wall up so you can't explore the whole world. But if you spun the car round and got out of the car, that door, you could just go off and just play the whole game.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's good, but it's just crazy. I was like,
there's a few demos like that where people have managed to get out of the restrictive area.
Yeah.
But I think that was one of the first games, rather than put out a demo and then 6 months or whatever later release the full game. It was like the whole game, and then they just reduced it for a demo. But people managed to just crack it and break it,
which is hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah,
poor Saints
but
Row.
maybe yeah. I mean, like GTA 5 though. Just getting back to that. I mean, it's one of those games that I know the online has always been very popular, and I've always tried to get into it. But I think it's another one of those games where you need to play it with friends. So as you go in, like on your own as a just a random, it's just not as fun. But there is a lot of game modes on there. But I've always, when we did the heists back in the day, I really enjoyed them, and there's quite a lot more of them now. I just would love to do just something on there every now and again, but it's just finding the people to do it is near on impossible. Because I
I
say,
still
it's
remember the time.
gone.
Sorry, when it was either me and Dan watching you try and land a plane outside my apartment. We was watching you on the little camera outside.
Oh
You
yeah,
can
yeah,
access
yeah,
through the
yeah,
computer, and you
yeah,
fucking failed miserably and blew up. And we was in
yeah.
stitches just watching you.
Good times. Yeah, I mean, it's such there's no other game like it, especially for the online, is there? It's really well done. You can buy your apartments, invite your friends over. Like I've got in the multiplayer now, I've bought an arcade. And I'm trying to do it up. So like buy arcades and all this sort of stuff. It's like actual kind of like single player missions to do in it now, which is quite cool. So yeah,
There's like
I might.
gun running and stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of things to do. Like I noticed on the map today, there's quite a lot of missions I could go and do. And I was like, oh, this is quite interesting, but I didn't have a lot of time to do it. And then my little boy decided to come upstairs and be like, whoa, what are you doing, Dad? I was like, I'm just playing my racing car game. And I just ended up just driving the car around. So obviously I didn't want him seeing me doing anything else in it. So yeah.
Also, I do find it a slight shame, obviously, with the rise of the live service online model for obviously like GTA 5 and obviously Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
It's meant we've missed out on those great expansions that you used to get for the previous
Oh,
GTA games, like Ballad of Gay Tony
oh
and like The
yes.
Lost and the Damned
The
and
Lost and the
Red
Damned was
Dead
one of my
Undead
favourites.
Nightmare,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
which was a
100%,
very
man.
interesting
Yeah,
take that they did with the Red Dead.
yeah. Talking about like the old school kind of DLC, like I've seen rumors about Modern Warfare 2. They're looking at adding map packs as DLC into it, which is very old school. And what the
They've
map pack?
not been doing that recently then.
No,
Is
I
it
haven't
just
done
the
them in
game
years.
update they do it?
Yeah,
Oh right, so they haven't
yeah,
been charging you, because I remember way back in I think it was like the late 360 era when I was obviously buying COD and maybe even with the Black Ops 3, they were charging for obviously the map packs, and that was when I used to get pissed off having to install like an 8 gig update for like maps that I don't own, but because
yeah,
obviously the way the games were done back then, you were forced to do the update anyway.
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, they haven't done that for this. Just a rumor, but apparently you'll be able to buy map packs for like all the old classic maps, which is quite cool. So we'll see if that actually happens, though. I mean, it's just a
Yeah,
rumor I've
they
seen.
probably phased it out, because I remember a friend of mine who was really heavily into Call of Duty 3 when that came out, and
Yeah,
he used to own and buy all the map packs. But he said, like, as it went on, there was hardly anyone playing any of the map pack things, because you obviously had to pay for them, and the game was a fair few years old by then.
yeah,
So I suppose by doing all the maps for free for everyone, then it doesn't like
yeah,
obviously dilute the player base into
yeah.
only selecting certain maps.
And then they make all their money from the skins and season passes and shit anyway. So doesn't really matter, does it? Because they make more money from the skins and shit anyway. So, yeah. Nick, back to you, my dude.
Right, so I've finished Red Dead Redemption 1, or just Red Dead Redemption. I'm just saying 1 because I know it annoys some people because they hate that. But yeah, it's just really good. I mean, like I said, I played it when it came out like 12 years ago, which is mental to think it's been that long. But
Yeah, wow.
it's just really good. I think it's like I say, the controls are a lot easier than 2 because it feels a bit too realistic, but the world is a little bit more empty compared to 2. I mean, 2, there's just so much going on, and obviously the big step up in the graphics and things like that. But I mean, I still really enjoyed it. You know, it's just more fun. But because I now know like all these characters from 2 because it's the prequel, you know, like Bill Williamson and Dutch and people like that. So now we've like killed them and things like that. Or well, Dutch basically went all is it The Fugitive where he like jumped out of the thing at the end with Harrison Ford? I think that's The Fugitive. That's got the wrong film, but yeah, basically I couldn't like, you know, they're talking about like, oh, back in the day, all this stuff, but obviously we didn't know what that meant. So it's like, oh, I know these guys have got history, but I don't know the history. And Dutch basically committed suicide rather than you kill him, which at the time, you know, which basically I chased him up a mountain and he went through a thing and he's like, you ain't got it in you, boy, but I know what I have to do. And then he just like jumped off and just like splattered. So I was like, oh dear. But I kind of get that now I've played 2. You know, because he does think of him as more like a, you know, a son figure and stuff like that. And he knows he basically left him for dead and basically lost. But basically, in the end of Red Dead 2, Dutch completely lost it, didn't he? I don't know if you guys can remember.
I can't remember. It's been bloody ages, mate.
Yeah, well, basically, he was the leader of the gang, but then Dutch basically just went completely mental and basically the law were after him, and then he sort of turned on everyone and turned on the wrong people and left a few people, like left John Marston for dead because he's like, oh, you know, things which is not what you're supposed to do if your mates are you. Well, I assume you're not supposed to leave your mate for dead. You know, I wouldn't.
No.
You know, that's probably a good thing. He shouldn't do that. So whether or not he was, you know, by doing that, because obviously they were blackmailing John into doing this to get his family back. So, you know, that's kind of like maybe he sort of had some kind of redemption for turning on him and getting so many people killed. And then obviously then you get everything's great. You also get the really good bit when you go back to your ranch and see to get your kids and your missus, you know, where it plays like really good music. So you're just going along to the horse, you're like, yeah, and then you get back and then you see your son, you give him a hug, and he's like, "Pa, pa," and then you go up to your Mrs. Abigail, and you go to give her a hug, and then she just slaps you across the face. I was like, "Yeah, that's typical, I suppose." But and then obviously you get the, you know, the real bad ending of that, where you know where he comes out of the barn and just get absolute, you know. But this time because I was streaming it and I had the headphones on as well. I mean, I knew it was coming, but that was still impactful because, you know, I could hear like John breathing as he was going out, and like you know, you could like feel it a bit more emotionally because he knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, even though you've killed like 50 times as many people of that before, you know, obviously that's the story. And now he just got like they just shot him to bits, and he just sort of dropped to his knees and was like, you know, was like, oh, I can't wait to kill this guy. Which obviously, because then later on you take up like, what, maybe 4 or 5 years later as Jack, which I didn't realise because obviously Uncle died then as well, you know, like sort of like the father figure to John as well. He got shot just before he died, and then, which I didn't notice before, Jack's mum died as well. So when he sits there, he sees his dad's tombstone, uncle's, and his mother's. So obviously he then goes off to you know, get revenge or whatever, which you do get, and you know, it's just a nice little thing as well. But I don't know if we'll get another one, but you know, I kind of want one now. I'm thinking of trying to go back to, I mean, I don't know if it's more of a story, more of a shooty game. I think I want to go play Red Dead Revolver now because I've been a bit
it was an arcadey sort of shooter. It was level based, wasn't it? And
yeah,
such.
so I don't know
But
if it's that.
Is Undead Nightmare available? Because you could always do that, especially.
Oh yeah, I've got that coming up. I'm doing that in a couple of, obviously because Halloween's coming up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play, but I don't think
that's
that's
quite sizable.
Yeah, I think that's a good 10 hours. I mean, this one was about 20. But obviously, Red Dead 2, I think I played that for about 70 hours. And that pretty much just concentrated on the main story as well. But yeah, I'll play that because I've been like on a bit of a Western sort of things. I've been watching like, you know, spaghetti western trilogy, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and all that, and then Django and some of the old John Waynes. I was like, ooh, because I used to love all that. Because I'm saying, I wanted to be a cowboy when I was little, and I am kind of a cowboy, but not that type of cowboy. Because apparently you can't do that anymore. But yeah, that was good. I've enjoyed it, so I'll play it again in another 12 years.
Good lad.
Which
I'll be pretty quick on this next one. King of Fighters 15.
Oh yeah, still playing that then?
A few bits. Yeah, I mean, I haven't got the latest DLCs for it. So you've got Team Orochi and obviously, unfortunately, the Samurai Showdown team, which I wish weren't in the game, but hey ho. But it's still one of my favourite games this year. Presentation on it's fantastic. The fact that you can unlock all the musics from like the previous titles in the series and other games like Metal Slug, etc.
Yeah,
is like really cool. And it is basically stemmed from, I watched a fair bit of people playing the Street Fighter 6 beta when it was running this past week or so. But it was one of you had to sort of obviously go on the website, register, etc. And then it was like a handful of people picked out. I didn't even bother going through it because I never get picked anyway for them. I just thought, oh, screw it. But yeah, I've been watching people play that, and the signs for that game are looking very good indeed. Like, I don't know how much you guys have actually watched of Street Fighter 6 at all.
No, I know there's been a beta, so that people have been playing. I know.
That's what I was watching. Yeah.
Yeah, Heracon's been playing it, and he's a big Street Fighter fan. So obviously he's one of those people that's going to be very what's the word, critical. And he's been putting in our Discord that it's absolutely brilliant, which is really good to hear.
As far as like visuals go for a fighting game, I think this is like definitely like some of, if not the best. Like the character animations, the character interactions, the whole presentation aspect of it is just really good. Like the hits look nice and meaty. When you actually hit people, they like stagger and stumble back.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Etc. So and the character creator on it looks completely and utterly fucked up. Like, you can create some absolutely complete freaks. Like
fantastic.
All torso and legs and like long neck and like absolutely bizarre, looking like Shrek's been hit by a bus or something. Like the character creator is like way more extensive than even like Saints Row, which usually prides itself on its character creator, but unfortunately the one in the new one's actually pretty shit in comparison to previous games.
That's a shame, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And also, one of the guys that was actually doing it, when he'd actually finished his character, he went along and it summarised everything. So he basically clicked on it and it shows you the exact option and numbers he'd chosen for every single part of his character.
Oh, that's cool. So people will be sharing their character creations.
Which makes it absolutely easy as hell to be like, oh, you want to create this character? Boom. There's all the settings you'll need. Just do that and you'll have that character.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
So what the beta seemed to mainly consist of was you create your character and you go into the online sort of thing where you go into sort of the big arena and you sit down at the machines and do bits and bobs, and then there was like the usual thing of characters running around in the middle just doing spinning bird kicks and Hadoukens, etc.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
But that's definitely a game I have got my eye on, and the fact we've still got another 10 characters to be shown off before the game actually releases is pretty cool as well.
Are they doing the usual in this though, and only having a small selection at launch, and then you have to buy the rest as DLC?
I think it's 18 characters on launch, which
that's
is
not too bad.
It's one of the biggest for a Street Fighter, if not the biggest launch roster. And then I think a few of the characters are DLC. Unfortunately, we've already had a leak of the characters, like most of the characters. And during this test that they were running, people have data mined it as well.
Yeah,
and found out,
as you do.
Access about certain things. So you've got like a Native American girl in it.
Yeah.
Who's actually T-Hawk's daughter.
Oh, so I'm actually bringing out new characters then.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're going to have, like, obviously the ones they haven't announced yet. You've got Zangief, who's the one of the only original Road Warrior characters they haven't shown off yet.
Right.
Cammy's in there, DJ's in there, which is cool to see DJ back as well.
Ken and
And
Ryu.
then they were in the beta and stuff as well. Chun-Li, E Honda, Blanca. Actually, no,
Yeah,
I
you
think
got the
I can't remember
staples.
which one wasn't in the. One of the characters wasn't in the roster. It was either
What?
Blanca or E Honda. Wasn't in the in the beta,
Oh,
but they
right.
were announced. So I think it might have been Blanca, possibly. I'm not too sure.
Blanca the Wanker.
But there's also some interesting things when it comes to the combat. I've noticed a lot of the characters kind of have like a momentum builder.
Okay. That's
And I was
interesting.
reading up on one of the female characters, French. I can't remember the name, but she's a grappler, and they were sort of like data mining through it all and sort of working out that the more she gets grapples off, she builds up loads of momentum and can pull off better and more powerful moves.
Okay, that's cool.
So they're sort of like trying to increase the flow of combat, and listening to one of the guys on YouTube who says, like, we've all got that classic in a fighting game where there's certain matchups you hate. Like certain characters you will generally hate fighting against because they're annoying. But he was like, with this game, it feels like you're given enough tools to approach the fight however you want.
Oh, that's good.
And you will find ways around it. And he said, like, from testing out a lot of the characters in it, he liked pretty much most of what he played with each of the characters.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, going back to obviously King of Fighters 15, yeah, just sort of like mucking around and playing that. I will pick up the extra characters. I'm just waiting for them to go on sale, because technically it's a team that I don't really want. And a team that's basically like evil versions of characters that are already in the game.
That's frustrating.
So it's reasonably okay. Like I get that there was like Samurai Shodown characters in the previous game, but they don't fit. Like, you've literally got people with swords in a game where everyone's fighting with fists. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And obviously they're characters from like the samurai era, Edo period, etc. What the hell are they doing? I know they was like to do with like time nonsense and stuff to try and get them in, but I still look at it as like a comedy group of characters, like you usually get with every fighting game nowadays. You seem to get some random comedy characters chucked in there.
Cool.
We'll have to see if Street Fighter is going to have any of those. But yeah, obviously Akuma, I think, is on the list as well. I think he'll be a DLC character. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Because there'll be people are going to line up and pay money for him.
He's just like Ken and Ryu, isn't he?
Basically, yeah, but just obviously a lot more badass.
Okay.
Got pearls around his
I
neck.
just-
He's not that badass.
Yeah, he bum beads around his neck. Yeah. But yeah, the only worry I still have with the game is it going to be in the vein of Street Fighter 5 because that entire game was like tethered around the whole live service model and logging in every week to do dailies and weekly challenges, and you had loot box bullshit and other stuff. Don't want any of that. I just want like a traditional sort of fighting game.
He'll be in it.
And yeah, there's bound to be some stuff in there with monetization for your avatars, I'm guessing, because you obviously want your avatar to be dressed up pretty badass.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping you can just earn all of those kind of things through just playing the game and not being forced into doing silly, annoying challenges, etc.
Yeah,
But we shall see.
Yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Back to you.
Back to the Webmaster 3000. Yeah, so I finally completed the main campaign of Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition.
What, again?
The second time, yeah.
Well, yeah, because I played the original version years ago, right, and finished that, and then obviously this is the first time completing the Enhanced Edition. This game is so gorgeous, but I've banged on about the graphics in the last episode we did, and but story-wise, absolutely amazing. Absolutely loved it from start to finish. And just the gameplay as well. You know, you get those nice open world areas, and then you have the old like kind of tunnel areas as well. So you get a good mixture. And it gets quite like scary at times as well, like with the spiders and the jump scares and the ambiance and stuff like that. It's pretty good. Yeah, so I finished that. And then I've also got both the DLCs, the Two Colonels and Sam's Story. Now, this is why I think it's such a bargain, because I think I paid like a £5 for the full game plus the DLCs.
I think I paid 15, like about 2 years, well, just after it sort of came out, that edition. So I was like, I can't not buy it for like under 20 quid, especially when, like you say, it's a gorgeous looking game, and it was one of the games to show off, obviously, the Series X and stuff back then as well.
Yeah, so obviously the main game was really, really good. Absolutely loved it from start to finish. The story is what really makes it a true gem, and the characters and stuff like that. So the two DLCs actually entangle in with the main game story really well, because you play as other characters from the main game who vanish from your crew at certain points in the game. So the first one is called The Two Colonels, and that's actually quite short. It's only about 3 hours, but it was really, really good. So it's basically the main character's father-in-law, and at a point in the story he goes off on his own, and so you're actually playing as him through that section of the game, and it was really, really good. And I'm glad it was short, because I was like, bloody hell, you know, I've been playing this game for ages, because the game took me ages, probably about 30 hours on its own. So I did that, and then I've been playing the second DLC, which is called Sam's Story. And I've had a look on howlongtobeat.com, and that's between 8 and 9 hours. Just for the story section. And I'm like, this is DLC, and it's longer than a lot of single player full games on its own. So
how did you find it the second time
in the 360 era?
What'd you say, Nick?
How did you find it the second time? Because I remember playing this and just got lost because the map was a bit crap.
Oh, it's easy, mate. It's a piece of piss. Because like when you're in the open areas, like you press the left trigger, or you press the back button, and it brings up your little map. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it has like a little red marker on the map on where you're meant to go. So you just kind of find your way to that. But then
you get a compass as well, don't you?
Yeah, and you get a little compass. Yeah, so the compass always points in the direction of your next main mission as well. But also on the map, there's loads of side stuff to do. So I always end up and going doing every single side thing as well.
So I remember playing it on the Xbox One X when, like, I think it was when it came out, and it made that thing sound like a PS4. That was so loud. I honestly thought it was going to explode.
That's because the graphics are so good.
Yeah, I think it was one of the ones that pushed it really hard. That's why I'm wondering, maybe I'll try it on the Series X. See if
you should.
Because I think it got a Series X update as well, didn't it?
Yeah, the enhanced edition. Yeah. So the enhanced edition on the PC added ray tracing and DLSS, which is fantastic. So it looks.
I think they just added
gorgeous.
the ray tracing on the PS5 and Series updates.
Excellent. Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's one of the best, even now, like it's one of the best looking games I've played, even by today's standard. It's so fucking gorgeous. And all the characters, when you get up close to their faces and they're talking to you, it just looks so real, man. So good. Absolutely love it. But that's not the main reason for enjoying the game. The story is what really sets it apart. It's just so damn good, man. It really, really is. And that's what makes it. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the DLC. It's again just you're playing as another character who's really, really good. You get different weapons than you do in the main game as well, which is really, really cool. Yeah, and it's just a whole new area. Loads of new characters, all really well voiced, all very well realised. And just a joy to play. So it's one long ass game, especially if you're doing the DLCs, but it's well worth it for the experience that you are getting with it. Even though it's a few years old now, I know people say to me, "Oh yeah, we're in a bit of a gaming drought." I'm like, well, if you've not played Metro Exodus, pick it up. It's really cheap. I mean, it was on Game Pass for a little while.
Is it still on there, or has it come off now?
No, it's off Game Pass. So because I had it installed on my PC from Game Pass ages ago, absolutely ages ago. Never played it, and then it come off Game Pass. It was still installed on my machine, but obviously I couldn't play it. And I was like, I wonder how much it is to buy. And obviously, when a game's been on Game Pass or whatever, has a discount, and then it was on sale as well. So I paid like a £5 for the full game and both the DLCs in one edition. I was like, yeah, I'm doing it.
Surprised you didn't get it with your Bing points, or do they not transfer over onto the PC?
Well, no, they do transfer over to PC, but this was before I was even into Bing points. That's how long I've had it on my machine. And then I was like, right, I'm at the point now where I just need to get round to it, So, because I've got quite a big backlog at the moment of games. I'm just slowly now I've got spare time again. Now I'm not studying. I'm just slowly churning through them, and that was on the top of my list. So, yeah, and I'm just loving it, man. Absolutely loving it. And then when that's done, I don't know what I'm going to move on to, because I'm playing. I'll talk about the next game afterwards that I'm playing as well on the side. But then, yeah, I've got quite a list of games I want to get through single player wise at the moment. So, yeah. Metro Exodus, though, is 10 out of 10 game. It is that fucking good. Anyway, on to Nick.
Yeah, right. So I started this a few weeks ago, but it's a long game, so I'm still going. It's Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Remix, whatever they've called it now. But yeah, like I said, still enjoying it. I mean, the story is just gone. I've no idea, really. There's guys running around in like cloaks and poking each other for some reason. I have no idea. But it's just a fun little game. The graphics are good, nice and colourful. I think it's a native 4K game as well. That's what they did on a lot of these. So that's pretty good. And so obviously I'm on to the Disney stuff now. So I did Hercules, Beauty and the Beast, and then Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah,
levels. So I did all those. Those are pretty fun. It's just like listening to see if they have actually got the voice actors. I think some of the Beauty and the Beast, I think they had. Some of Hercules. I don't think they had any Pirates of the Caribbean. Definitely didn't have Johnny Depp in it. Yeah. It wasn't too bad, though.
He did a decent version from what I remember seeing in the trailer like way back.
Yeah, I mean, it's doable. At least he's doing a Captain Jack Sparrow impersonation, where the guy who's playing Will Turner, Orlando Bloom, actually he did a better job than Orlando Bloom. I'll give him that. But it's not too. It's a good little game. I'll plod along and get through it. The only thing that I've always hated in the Kingdom Hearts games is the gummy ships in between the levels, where you get on a little gummy ship with a little Chip and Dale. You're like, Chip and Dale, why don't you just sod off, you little twats?
I used to love Chip and Dale when I was younger.
No, I did. That's why I hate it, because they make me play a silly little shooting game where you just constantly jab an X to just shoot stuff, and it's just really boring. I don't know why they thought they had to put it in there, and I think they've doubled down on it even more from 1 to 2 and then 3, where you can like customize all your ships and like Lego and put all that stuff, which some people might enjoy that. I just can't be bothered. But whereas this one, it's like called the High Wind. It's obviously from Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like the High Wind, but that's just what it's called. But after every level, you can just select like high wind version 2, 3, 4, so it gets a bit bigger and more powerful with more health. So I'll just do that. So I remember with 3, I got stuck because I just ignored all that, and I basically had to sit there for like 2 hours, like with a YouTube tutorial, trying to upgrade the ship so I could get through, even though I was playing on like ultra super easy nub mode, where I remember playing that when I was playing that years ago when that came out,
Yeah.
and I fell asleep whilst playing it, and then I
Oh,
woke
wow.
up about 45 minutes later with the controller still on my hand vibrating. I still hadn't died. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, then I kept dying at the gummy ships. But it's a good game. I mean, I think they've already announced the Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm sure I may have dreamt that, but I'm sure they
No,
did a
they
trailer.
did. They showed a trailer where he's in the city and he gets
Yeah, that's
attacked
the
by a
one.
shadow or whatever it is.
Yeah, and then now
Giant
they're not going
shadow.
to say nothing for 5 years.
Those games are so
Well,
confusing, man. I never know
Oh
what the
mate,
fuck's
they're
going on.
so up
that
their
and the
own arse.
fact
It's
there's,
scary.
like you say, there's like the PSP versions and then the
Yeah.
Nintendo DS ones as well, didn't they
Yeah, I
do,
think
maybe?
this is on the PS4 version because on this it says 6 beloved journeys remastered in high definition. So you've got Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, and then you've got Chain of Memories, which I think is the DS, and Birth by Sleep, which is the PSP. But then you've got 2 other games, but they're just like cinematics where they've just put all the cutscenes together.
How bizarre.
So it's good. It's good. I mean, this guy, the 1.5, 2.5 remix, you get it really cheap. So I mean, there's 4 really big games on. There's a lot of content though. It's
Yeah.
definitely worth getting. If you like Final Fantasy and you like Disney and you haven't heard of this game, then if you listen to this, you probably have. But
Yeah,
maybe
I
living under.
can't. Yeah, no, carry on. Sorry, I was going to say something.
I was just saying, if you like Disney and Kingdom Hearts and things like in Final Fantasy games, definitely give it a go because they're so cheap now.
Yeah, the problem is, like, me and my missus had a problem where the camera was just really jerking. It just gave us headaches. We couldn't play it.
Yeah, because I was going to say,
one was
Webby,
jerky.
like your missus, like ticks both those boxes, Disney and Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Like,
This one, I mean, I played it on PS2, Webby, and but this one they do seem to have fixed the camera.
Oh, that's good.
It's a lot better than I remember because
Okay.
it's more modern than because obviously. I'll talk about cameras in older games later, but back then, even towards the end of PS2, it was really hard with cameras when on 3D games.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they were like on Kingdom Hearts. It was really jerky. It just it gives you a headache. Yeah.
Well, this one's good, dude.
Cool, man.
Get it.
Cool, man.
Go buy it. Buy it
Okay.
for her. Say, there you go.
Christmas. Sorted. Is it me again?
Switch.
Or was it Darren? I forget the order. Oh, yes, Darren.
Save the world with my mate.
Oh, my God.
Back to you, Webby.
Oh, my God.
We've entered that stage.
I
Who
did
is
play
this
some
man?
Fortnite, but I don't want to talk about it because it was crap.
Well,
Not crap, it is what it is.
I played the best battle royale game this week and got a chicken dinner. It's PUBG.
The OG chicken dinner.
Yeah, the original and still the best PUBG. Had a really good session on it. On what night was it? Friday night, I think it was. Was it Thursday night? I can't remember. Yeah, really good session. We got a chicken dinner and all the other games we got, where we were easily in the top 10 or top 5. Yeah, because we're using
Seems
a lot
to
of
be getting
communication.
more popular now, especially on Twitch. I don't know if
it's free to play now. That's why.
Ah, right. Plus, I don't know. Plus, also a lot of the kids who are playing Fortnite are growing up a bit and looking for something with a bit more,
Well, this has gone a little bit Fortnite in a way where, like, obviously in the olden days, you bought the game and you played it. Now it's free to play. It's got all the free to play bollocks in the game, so you can buy PUBG coins and buy skins for your guns, outfits for your characters, and dance moves. Oh my God!
But the actual clothing and stuff was always there.
Yeah.
Like for your characters, but I don't know about the dance moves. I don't remember that being.
No, they weren't there. No. So there's a lot of monetization. Obviously, you can buy your season passes as well, which is in every game. But I don't spend any money on it. I just jump on and have a bit of fun. So, because I bought the game back in the day, they gave you a load of crap anyway, to make up for it going free to play. So yeah, all good. That's PUBG. Back to Nick again.
Right, so I played. This is this is definitely the oldest game I've played because it's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone on PS1.
Harry Potter? What
Harry
a roar!
Potter?
Said Harry.
Yeah, basically because
Robbie Coltrane.
Yeah, because Robbie Coltrane passed away on Friday, which is sad because we all know Hagrid is basically the real hero of
It wasn't even that old, really, was he?
72.
72. Yeah.
No, it's not.
For these days, that's not old, really.
Yeah, especially when you think celebrities
in your 80s, really.
Especially, it's not but especially when you think celebrities, they tend to have a less stressful and physical life than commoner people. Might upset people, but in general, I mean, that's why the Queen went late 90s and things like that. Not to say he's royalty, but you see what I mean, don't you?
Yeah.
That's but yeah, so I played that. I mean, apparently there's a PS2 version, which I didn't know, but I've got the PS1 version because I thought, I just fancied playing it. It's just something different. Yeah. And it's kind of shit. I mean, it's a good. It is what it is.
That always gets memed on with like the PS Hagrid, PlayStation Hagrid meme.
Yeah, pretty much. Where his face is just stretched like really wide for some reason.
He looks like a triangle.
Yeah, his face is like a giant triangle for whatever reason. And it's just like, say, you're going through listening to the voice acting, which isn't too bad, actually, for a game which was, 2001?
Wow.
I mean, this was really late PS1 game.
Yeah, because the PS2 was out then, what?
Yeah, exactly. But the PS2 version is a lot more expensive to buy than the PS1 version.
Right,
a lot more, and that's even more on OG Xbox as well. So I think they're better graphics and stuff like that. But I mean, this one was like about £5-6. The PS2 version, well over 50.
Wow, that's insane.
So I wouldn't pay that money for a game like that. But it's just it was like I say, the camera controls were very jank on this, and for some reason. Only the D-pad worked, not the analog stick, and then halfway through the game, the analog stick decided to work.
Oh, strange.
Yeah, so I don't know if I had to press the little analog button to turn the light on.
Oh, yeah, you would have done, man. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll say now because this is kind of it's me, but it's embarrassing. So I plugged in PS2 because I was playing it through the PS2.
Right.
And I was like, so I plugged it in. I was like, there we go. And then I was like, why is this not working? I'm nothing working. And I'm sitting there with the PS3 controller in my hand.
Oh, you noob.
Yeah, I was like, why is it not working? I was like, oh, that way. Because I was playing the PS3 a few days earlier, so I had that controller in front of me.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. But
That's
then, going back to the PS2 is a better controller than the PS3 controller all day long. The PS3 controller is definitely the worst.
I hated the analogs on the PS3 controller. They're so loose.
Yeah, they're loose. The back, the triggers or whatever they called them are just crap, and you can't feel them. The D-pad is mushy and squid. Plus, it's just it just feels cheaply made. I mean,
it's really light, isn't it? Yeah,
it's too light.
The OG ones without the rumble.
No, this one's got the rumble.
Other ones.
Oh,
yeah, because they got sued because they didn't pay the license or copied the rumble tech or something, but they all get sued because everyone's always saying, "Oh, we invented this." I was like, "Oh, did you really?" But yeah, it's not it's not a bad game. I mean, it is a bad game, but the voice acting's okay. Just going through it, I was like, "Oh, I know this move." But a few things that did piss me off. There was like a theatre rhythm, Parappa the Rapper style mini games.
All right.
Where you got the face buttons go round in a circle, and you have to press them in time, to progress, to do the spell or catch the snitch or whatever you have to do. And they would. It's not me because I'm crap. I mean, I am crap. I would tell you if it's because I'm crap at it. But it was just It was nowhere near where it showed you on the screen. You had to press it almost a full second earlier than when it told you to. So it was like, I can't do it. I've tried to get it rhythm. So then I've actually spent like 10 minutes trying to do this one puzzle. I was like, right, I can't do it because it's not right. So instead, I'm just going to listen. So I just did it on stream with my eyes closed and did it first time, just listening to it instead. So I think maybe it's just a glitch or the game's broken. I mean, I was thinking about
controller latency because of the TV that you're playing it through, unless you're playing it through an older television.
not playing it for a new TV, but it seemed everything else seemed really responsive, like the jumping and everything. This was not latency. This was basically the game is broken. It's not like, I mean, I've never known a controller latency to be like a full second. That noticeable, but
Yeah.
I mean, it could be, but everything else seemed okay. But yeah, I mean, I think it was EA who made this. I think it's EA, Warner Brothers. No, it's Warner Brothers. I'm sure it said Warner Brothers and EA Games.
Oh God.
So I'm thinking of maybe contacting EA and asking if they could like patch it for me, because that's what they do now. I don't know. Maybe they'll post me a disc where it's fixed.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
But yeah, I think I played it for nearly 3 hours. I got up to and beat the first. I don't know if they would follow the whole movie, because you started pretty much straight away in Hogwarts and sort of running around there. And I got up to the first Quidditch match. So, but it said that was about 35% in 3 hours. So I'm assuming it's not a long game. I might go back to it and play it again if I feel in the mood. And then I might play a good game instead.
Cool.
Yeah, that's done. Switch, you got anything else?
Just Final Fantasy 14, getting ready for Tuesday's patch, really.
Oh, what's happening on Tuesday with the patch?
New beast tribe, new dungeons with variable routes and difficulties.
Oh, okay.
You're not allowed at Webby. You've cancelled yours.
Yeah, well, I've cancelled my sub, but it's still not running out and for another couple of weeks. So, because you pay a month up front, right? So, I've got a couple of weeks, and if I get back into it, I'll just re-enable again.
Well, you're up to date on the Hildebrand, so you should be eligible to do the relics or the new relics or whatever they're like. Usually, the first stage is quite simple with them. Okay. I think they've learned their folly with the Atma phases and stuff from Realm Reborn, etc. Okay. But I'll let you know what it's like, obviously, when in a couple of weeks' time.
Sweet, bro. Hello all, apologies, but we lost roughly 40 minutes of this week's episode due to my recording software glitching out and me not noticing. So again, apologies for that. So you just missed out on just some of the games played and a couple of news items, so nothing major. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the show where we catch up with the crew talking about a couple more news items and the questions. Darren, did you say you had some more news than that?
Well, there was one bit of news that broke. I think it was Friday, late Friday, early Saturday I saw it.
Okay.
And that was to do with Gotham Knights.
Oh, yes.
Apparently someone who got hold of the game early put out a tweet saying that on the PS5 version that they were playing of the game, it didn't have a performance mode and it was locked to 30 FPS, or what he presumed was 30 FPS.
Yeah.
So because of this and all the hubbub that proceeded to go on, because I literally woke up, it was trending 30 FPS. So I was like, so I just clicked on it just to see what it was all about, and obviously stumbled on this. And it was still trending this morning as well when I woke up. One of the devs actually came out and said, yeah, because of the way the game's made and the way we've done it, there is no option for Series S or Series X or PS5 to actually, it's at a locked 30 FPS.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of people were kind of freaked out, upset, The game was obviously cancelled because originally it started development as a cross-gen title. It was going to be on Xbox One and PS4 as well. And
Okay.
they've since dropped those, so it was literally just a next-gen only title. So for the newer systems and PC.
Yeah.
And then someone came out and said, like, no, this is even on PC. The minimum specs are pretty hefty
Right.
for what you're going to need.
Right.
So I've done a little sort of digging into this to see why this game would be at obviously 30 FPS, because it doesn't look fantastic graphically. Like it looks like competent and decent,
Yeah.
but it's lacking detail from, like, say, Arkham Knight, which is an older game from way back.
Yeah.
So a big thing for this seems to be the fact of the way they've built the game. The game's playable offline completely.
Yeah.
So it's not a live service title or anything like that. But when you're playing it online with someone in co-op,
Yep.
you can completely go around the map wherever you want.
Okay.
So you're
Yeah.
completely untethered from each other. So one of you could be one side of the map and the other person will use the other side.
Yep.
Because you're not actually connecting to a server for the multiplayer per se, the server side isn't doing a lot of the processing in the background like live service games do.
Right.
So because of this extra strain on obviously the system, it wouldn't be able to put it out sort of like at a consistent frame rate. And the fact that they've also forced the ray tracing in as well, there doesn't seem to be any option to take ray tracing off.
Yeah.
On obviously the newer systems, because that'd be my first thing. I'm like, well, drop the ray tracing, and then that'll up your frame rate. Because that's usually the way like performance mode works. You'll just phase out ray tracing, and then like that helps.
It's a massive resource hog, yeah.
Yeah, but because of the way they've obviously also built this world, in the fact that it's not running a lot of the other stuff server side, and you're running it from your own system, it's basically putting a massive strain on the system. Hence, obviously, the pretty hefty specs for the PC as well for the minimum.
Yeah.
And this news came out hours after they announced the 4-player co-op mode for the game that's going to be coming in November.
Fucking hell.
So almost like sad, because everyone was like, yeah, 4-player co-op mode, that'd be excellent, like an end game thing where you go up these different floors in 4-player. I mean, the bummers are, it's not cross-play game, so you'll only be able to play with people on the respective platforms as well.
Yeah.
And what I find shady is the only reason the developer mentioned that it's a capped 30 was because someone leaked it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have said fuck all until the game came out. And I think that's a bit shitty.
It is, mate. Yeah. Yeah.
Especially for people that have bought next-gen systems and they're like, look, we've got a ton of games with performance modes. You've got Elden Ring performance mode. That's got co-op, etc. But again, a lot of obviously the co-op stuff for those games is taking part on a server. So that's doing a lot of the legwork. Whereas the way they've built this, it doesn't. And it's basically fucked them. I've cancelled my pre-order for it.
It's a shame, really, isn't it? You know, that's happened.
I mean, I just thought, oh, this would be a pretty interesting, cool time sink for like a week or two while I'm waiting for other stuff to come out. And then when I sort of woke up to all that, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll leave it. It was only like a game I was picking up because there's like virtually nothing out at the moment.
It sounds like it'll go on sale pretty quick then.
Yeah, I imagine it'll be sort of in the Black Friday sale pretty quickly, possibly.
Yeah,
I mean, there's people moaning because in America it's £70 or $70.
Wow, that's a lot of money, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's only 60 on the PC.
Yeah.
So it's actually cheaper on the PC. I mean, we understand that because it's the fee they pay to the
console tax,
companies. Yeah. Why it's more expensive. I mean, I was paying under £60 for the deluxe edition.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Which come with like extra tidbits and outfits and stuff. But in the end, I just thought, you know what, bollocks to it. Like, just be a bit more forthcoming with your customers and let people know entirely what it is and explain why
Yeah.
it can't do this. And then, because to be honest, I wouldn't be playing this game in co-op at all. Probably, I'd just be playing it in single player.
Yeah.
So, does it really need to be running stuff for things? I mean, is it possible they'll patch this and maybe try and get around it? Maybe, but by the time they've done that, think of all the games that are going to be out
Oh
that are
no.
vying for
Yeah.
your time. Like, they
Yeah.
might be like, oh yeah, we'll get a patch out for it by about February. I'd be like, oh, real bad fucking month to do that.
Yeah.
Like, from the end of, like, I think it's from like the mid to the end of January. It's just like a cascade
I
into
know.
the spring
Don't
of
know how we're
just
gonna
like
keep up,
these
to be honest.
big releases. Yeah, like more releases that I'm excited for then than there are coming up at the end of this year.
Yeah. Yeah. That's mental.
So yeah, I think it's they've probably lost thousands of sales over this
Oh
because
yeah,
people
I'll
aren't
bet so.
happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like I said, it looks worse than obviously some of the previous games, like in detail,
Oh, that's
etc.
so weird, isn't it? Yeah.
And it hasn't even got the same combat as the Arkham games either. They've changed it. You haven't got the counter system in it anymore.
Oh, weird.
So someone was saying like this could actually be possibly annoying for the combat because it's all down to like precision dodging and stuff, and you're trying to do that on 30 compared to 60.
Yeah. But
It
it's just odd
might cause
because
problems.
this is what annoys me about these new systems, these new consoles like that, all advertised, 4K, 120 FPS. And then, like, most of the games come, well, not, so no, not most games, but a lot of games come out and they're at 30. And you can see why people are angry because it feels like they've been missold, you know?
Well, this is why, like, I've always loved exclusives for systems because they're literally built for one system only. They don't have to
Yeah.
care about what's in them. Because of that, they're fully optimized
Yeah.
for the
I know.
systems that
Yeah.
they're made for.
Yeah. Oh, well.
It's just, like I've said before, it's down to the developers and what they decide to do at the end of
Yeah.
the day with a lot of their games. That's why some devs are absolutely amazing and other devs are a bit, maybe
Yeah.
do a little bit better. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a game developer myself, but I can understand why people would be annoyed when they've got something like Horizon Forbidden West, which is one of the best looking games out there. That runs at 60 FPS and it still looks fantastic at, like, what was it, 1400p or whatever at 60.
Yeah.
And you're saying you can't do that in Gotham Knights? Maybe you shouldn't have gone the route you did with the tethered co-op stuff or the untethered co-op. I don't know,
Yeah.
but we shall see. I mean, I think the reception for the game wasn't particularly like explosively hyped up anyway.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of people that are into it, but the fact that Batman's not in the game and you're playing as obviously sidekicks,
Yeah.
so kind of a shame because I was looking forward to it, but we shall see.
That's a shame. Yeah. That's a shame.
But I've got Star Ocean and the Winters expansion for Resident Evil 8 out at the end of the month, so I'll just wait for those.
Yeah. Any other news? Anyone? Anyway, any other news? Are we all done?
I had one, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I think they announced it about just after the last week, so it's getting a next gen version. But they says it's going to be like free if you've got this version, which is nice. But
Yeah.
they put a trailer out, and it does actually look like they've done a bit more than just give it a FPS boost. They do look like they've changed a lot of stuff up as well. So, and that's coming the end of January. So, yeah, so 3 years after it came out.
Did you
Wow.
end up looking into that Breakers at all?
No, I didn't even know it was out. Someone told me that was out Friday.
Yeah, it came out this week.
Well, it's 25 quid, so I'm assuming it's crap. And none of the, even though I don't like them, I haven't looked on Metacritic yet, but none of the big sites have even reviewed it. So, like I said, it's
That's not a good
25
sign,
quid.
is it?
Yeah, 25
From
quid
what
on
From what
Series
I've
X and
gathered,
PS5.
it's basically Dragon Ball Z Dead by Daylight kind of a game.
Yeah.
All right.
One person plays as either Frieza, Cell, or Boo, and everyone else plays as other people trying to survive.
Oh,
That was my impressions anyway. It might not be that, but
right.
I suppose that would be a reason for it to be a bit cheaper than a regular game if
Well,
it's
the
sort of like
trailer
more
I
of a
watched,
party type of game.
the trailer I watched, it looked like they were all customizable characters instead of the main characters.
Yeah,
Because
it did seem to be sort of like
thing is,
create your own.
a lot of those games, some of those Dragon Ball games are really good, and some of them are just cash grabs, you know. But I don't know. Like I said, it was so good I didn't even know it was out.
And you call yourself an anime nerd.
I'm not an anime nerd. I like one anime thing, Dragon Ball, and that's it. I've never watched anything else.
Oh, fair enough.
Well, I watched other stuff, but I'm not talking about that on this podcast.
Lols. There's no questions. There was one by Clarkey, but we covered that in the that lady with the Bayonetta thing anyway. So seems a bit pointless to read that out. And that's.
I mean, I'm interested to see how
Fair.
that story develops because obviously it is still doing the rounds, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like been well over a day.
Yeah.
I mean, it might highlight some things in the voice acting industry that need to be looked at, etc. But we shall see.
Yeah, because you can guarantee if it was like a celebrity doing the voice, they'd be paid millions, not $4,000.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So there must be a disparity
not being
somewhere.
Funny, some of these sort of like voice actors are almost celebrities, aren't they, in their own right in the gaming industry? Like your Nolan Norths, your Troy Bakers, Jennifer Hales, etc.
Yeah.
Like everyone's heard of them.
Yeah.
Maybe they just wanted more of a bigger name, but like Bayonetta's voice is pretty iconic.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I could do a Bayonetta voice for $4,000.
Might just play it in Japanese.
Yeah.
If possible.
Crazy. Well, I think that's about time we ended, and because we're about 15 minutes later than we wanted to be for Nick going to bed. So I'm just clock watching at the moment, just because I know Nick wanted to be off at 10. So
yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah. Sweet. All right, guys, it's been awesome as always. Really enjoyed talking to you again this week, Nick. We will play some video games.
I offered. You said you were busy.
What happened one night? I was busy, but you weren't going on anyway. We will try and make it happen, though. We want to make it happen. All right, so just let me know.
Right.
Cool. Okay, so for me, Mark Webb, Gamertag, Piss ID, Steam ID, Webby360G.
Nick Fights on Twitter and Twitch.
And Sensei Switch.
If you're a Patreon, you're going to love next week's episode. It's all about the Xbox 360. We're going to be talking about the console in depth, our favourite memories, the console itself, and our favourite games. If you want to get involved, just join the Discord. We have a forum section, episode 141. Please put in your favourite memories and your top 5 games for the system, and I will make sure to read them out in the show. So
or
please do it.
Otherwise, we'll be there all night.
Well, yeah, I'll add it in anyway. It'll be on the show. I might not read them on the show when Darren and Nick are on, but I'll make sure it's all in there. Okay, it will be there. Don't worry. So if you want to sign up to the Patreon, head on over to patreon.com/360gamercast. Anyway, that's the end of this week's show. It's been awesome. Thank you very much for coming on, guys. And we'll speak to you next week. See you later. Goodbye.
Boy.
Nice.
Actually, I just realised Bayonetta 3's out on the same day as the other two things as well.
Oh, bloody hell. Too many games.
And then, what is it, 2 weeks after that, God of War.
Yeah, I'm not getting that at launch.
I am. I've got it pre-ordered.
No, I knew you were. I'm having to be very picky.
Frugal.
No, that's actually a better word, frugal, because obviously I've got 2 kids, Christmas, and got Marcus's birthday is on the 9th of December, and then we've got Christmas as well. So December.
Yeah, you got all that to look forward to when they're a bit older and they want really expensive presents. You are going to be so skint, mate.
I know. So
or just be like, "Is your Game Pass? Shut up." 50 quid, job done.
Yeah. I'll be sharing that with him anyway when he's a bit older, I imagine.
Yeah, true.
Imagine how many games we'd have played back then if we had Game Pass.
I know, insane, absolutely insane. Yeah, so I don't know what game, because I'm looking forward to COD. Obviously, pre-ordered that. I've not actually pre-ordered or have any thoughts on any other games actually.
We'll be able to play Deathwing because that's on Game Pass, isn't it? So when I get that, you'll have it on Game Pass.
Crisis Core, I'm going to have to get a physical copy of.
That's early December, isn't it?
I know, bloody. And
then you've got Callisto Protocol early December as well.
Yeah, that looks good.
That does look good. I'm going to have to wait on that. That looks a bit of a dark
horse, doesn't it? But
yeah.
I wonder if Crisis Core and all that is going to be, because it's on PlayStation, is there going to be an Xbox version?
There is an Xbox version of Crisis Core Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there going to be an Xbox Series X version that's a tenner more?
I don't think so. I'm sure when I looked, there isn't
versions online.
No.
Yeah. Well, that WWE game, there's 2 versions.
Well, they started getting around that, didn't they? I noticed it was around the time of like Tiny Tina's Wonderlands or whatever it was. There was I was like, oh, that one's cheap. Why is that one more expensive? I was like, oh, right, they're getting more money out for the next gen version rather than.
Plus, they're cheeky as hell. Plus, they're cheeky as hell. Like the COD I've got, the 15 quid one, which is because it says Series X / Xbox One, so that's the Series X version. Whereas the Xbox One version is Xbox One / Series X. So what do they do with the Series X version? Is just a one-use code in the box for an upgrade. So even if you pay for the thing, if you sell it, then it's already downgraded to the non-next gen version.
Yeah.
Can you not purchase the upgrade separately online though?
Yeah, if it's tenner.
Yeah, so see, it's not like you're fully losing out. That's almost like, do you remember the online pass with EA?
Yeah.
They bought the second-hand game market, but then they'd sell it separately. So if you bought a second-hand copy, you'd have to pay to play it online.
Oh, stupid, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, just robbing bastards.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Dead Space remake trailer that they put out about a couple of weeks back?
Yeah, it looks quite good, man. I just don't like replaying games all the time, so I'm just like, yeah.
It is a good game, though.
It's amazing. It really is amazing. I'll say that, though. I reinstalled the Mass Effect remaster, but I've not actually put it on to play it yet, because I'm like thinking to myself, do I actually want to put myself through that long-ass game again when I've got such a huge backlog? You know? Yeah, so I don't know. Because the annoying thing about Game Pass, right, and it's only an annoyance for me because I like to get my Chivos. Game Pass obviously has EA Play on it, right? So on the Xbox, you download the EA games and you play them and you get Chivos. But when you get the EA games through Game Pass on the PC, it's through the EA app, so you don't get achievements on the EA games on PC. So so if I'm playing like a long RPG or something like that, I'm like, well, I might as well just download it on my Xbox because then I'm getting achievements for playing it.
True. Unless you only don't want to be one of these like pop one achiever and that's it.
No, every Chivo counts. Yeah.
All right, boys, I have to love you and leave you. 12 hours all week.
Oh, fuck that.
Ouch.
Yeah,
I've got 12 hours like most of the week. Nights.
Oof.
Worst
Right,
time when I've got a new Relic
speak to
quest
you.
coming out.
I'll speak to you during the week. We'll try and get some games down, Webby.
Yeah, just ping me, mate, and I'll let you know if I'm available.
Right, mate. See you later, guys.
See you later, Nick.
Cool.
Bye.
All right, I'll see you about. We'll try and do 8 o'clock next week again if we can.
Yes. Obviously, yeah, it'd probably be quite long, I'd imagine, with it being a 360.
Oh no, yeah.
Thing. There's so many games.
Yeah, I need to spend some time doing a little bit of note taking. I think I was bound to forget something.
I'm just going to pick like five or so games I really liked, and then mention obviously a ton of really good fucking. I wouldn't say mid-tier games, but like really recommended games.
Yeah.
Because there's like loads of weird little gems. Like that's what I used to love about that era. Like you could actually go out and you'd be like, "Oh, what's out this week?" Yeah, I'll pick that up and see what it's like, and you end up with like some cracking gem like Singularity or Saboteur.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there were some fucking good games on that system, man. Loved it.
And that was the system where online gaming basically spawned.
Yeah.
Because when people talk about online gaming, it's generally Xbox Live. You don't really hear about PSN.
No. PSN was shit back in the day. Absolutely shocking.
Oh, do you remember the horrendous... Was it like a whole month or something that PSN was down?
Oh, yeah, because it got hacked, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
I
funny.
did chuckle back then, because obviously I was an Xbox man. So.
Yeah.
But cool, it was just before Mag came out, wasn't it?
Oh, yes.
Or just after, and it fucked that game big time because it was online only.
Lols. Yeah. That was funny. Cool, mate. I'm going to chip off now.
Yep.
It's been awesome, and enjoy your night shifts as much as you can.
I won't.
And yeah, I'll speak to you in the week.
Hold on. In your restless dreams, do you see that town? The latest update for Silent Hill will be revealed during the Silent Hill transmission this Wednesday at 2 p.m. PDT.
What?
They've just announced the new Silent Hill.
Shit. Oh, so cool. Oh, that's going to be awesome, man.
Oh, but it's the official Silent Hill has tweeted it out. So
wow.
But Brilliant. It's Konami. So is it going to be like a monkey's paw? Is it going to be a fucking mobile game?
Oh, I hope not. Oh my god.
The original Silent Hill trilogy remastered for mobile phones.
Can you imagine that? That'd be hilarious.
Oh, this is going to set the internet aflame. Anyway, on to the next thing. We've had the over the past 24, 48 hours, we've obviously had the Gotham Knights shit, the Bayonetta stuff, and now it's going to be Silent Hill all tomorrow.
Yeah, sweet. Awesome.
It's an NFT, someone's put. It's like...
Brilliant.
Please, I still fucking hate the fact that the greatest demo stroke advertising campaign of all time was for a game that never came out.
Oh yeah, PT. Yeah. Okay, now.
Right. Anyway,
cool. Well, I'm going to
look into this some more. Probably watch a load of videos of people speculating.
Yeah, I'm going to put that on the on Discord. I've just found it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But yeah, I will catch you next week, mate, or possibly during the week, or maybe on Final Fantasy if your sub's still going and you're on in the day or whatnot.
Yeah, sub's still going, man. Just need to find some reasons to jump back on. That's all.
No worries.
Cool. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, catch you later, mate. Bye.
Bye.